minds.com.
Okay, what the heck is this? This is a cheap $5 ammo can from Walmart. It's one of the smaller plastic ones. This is a USB port and 12 volt port with 3 switches on it that I got from Amazon. These switches are made by a company called DC Flat. It's a 3 gang switch with USB and 12 volt outs. The USB is current limited, and the 12 volt is voltage limited. Uh, just in testing this, this says 2.1 amps. I'm getting at least that out of it. It's either rated much lower than what it's capable of, or I'm just not pulling as much current as I think I am. On the website, they say that this one is voltage limited, so I imagine that there's over voltage spike protection on the 12 volt, but you're running it off of a 12 volt battery. You're not using an alternator or anything, so that doesn't really come into play. These labels are just quick labels that I made myself. Those don't come with the switch. The reason I got this one is because that's what I needed. They have a whole bunch of them. They have 8 gang and 4 gang and a bunch of USB outputs and dials and switches and stuff. I didn't need all that. I just wanted a reasonably high current and long-lasting power supply for a ADS-B receiver that I have in the plane, and I didn't want to monkey around with getting all the certification and everything for wiring it straight to the battery. So I went with that, and I can use this for camping and stuff when I'm not using it in the plane. So when you get this from Amazon, the switches will basically be wired to nothing. If you look on the back side, the they have the ground and the positive hooked up to the switches, which basically turns the light on, but the switch doesn't actually control anything. So if you hooked it up the way they have it, the USB is this one here is it's on all the time, and I imagine this one is live well, I know it is live all the time as well. If you had something plugged into it. I'll swing this around and open it up. And here you can kind of see sort of how I wired it. I don't want to take it apart to show the details because I've already got it screwed in. And you can see I haven't epoxied the screws or anything yet. So the less I mess around with those screws, the better for now. But eventually I'm going to epoxy those in or get some plastic nuts so they don't come loose. On the bottom there, that's just leftover foam, and the battery is just friction fit to the inside of the case. And this was just, again, leftover foam from something. I don't know what it was from. When it comes to packing foam, I'm a bit of a pack rat because I know I'll eventually use it for something. But this is nice and secure, so if you want to steal my idea, knock yourself out. I'm trying to get as good a video as I can down in there how I wired it. Basically, this switch down here is controlling everything. So the output of this master switch goes to the hot on the other 2 switches, and then the third post on the switches goes to the 12 volt and the USB adapter. And that's basically all it is, and just wiring it to the battery. Okay, I pulled that out of the case so you could see it. Try to get the light out of it. That is a Expert Power battery, and you can see the specs on there. So far, I'm really happy with this battery. It drains about at the rate you'd expect it to for the current that you're pulling. That 20 hours, 12 volt, 7 amp hour seems to be pretty accurate. I would guess with the current I'm pulling, I'll get at least 3 days out of this because I'm only pulling about 2.5 amps at the most. At the very outside, I don't even think it's that high. I haven't measured it, but the ADS-B receiver with an AHRS board on it and a fan going, it's pulling somewhere between 2.1 and 2.5 amps. So that's the battery. I'll get down in there a little bit closer so you can see see these are the little foamies that I use to just pad it out and friction fit it to the inside of the case. That there is the actual wiring, and I don't know if you can see where I kind of cut the wires and redid everything myself. So this wire here is coming from the battery, and then that comes off here and goes into this one and this one, and then the third post on the bottom goes out to the USB and the 12 volt port. I put some foam in the bottom there just to cut down a little bit on vibration. And that's about it. It's pretty simple. I think I spent about $20, give or take, on that plate. It might have been as much as 25. And the rest of the stuff was stuff I had myself, except for the ammo can. I just went to Walmart and got one. So that's about it. You can see there's about an inch and a half, 2 inches of dead space there, but really the can is almost so perfectly sized. If you wanted to shop around and get a little bit taller battery with just a little bit more capacity, you might make it a little better use of space. But I already had this battery, and it's close enough fit for what I need. It's going to last for 3 days easy without needing recharging. So I'm pretty happy with it. So that's about all there is to it. It's just a battery inside an ammo can with a bunch of switches on the front. And I'll just show this real quick. This here, you can see I've labeled them master. I'm gonna try to get the glare off of there. Master, USB, and 12 volt / charge. So turning that on turns the master on. So that just enables everything. If this is off, nothing is being drawn from the battery. So turn the master on, USB comes on. You can see the light for the USB came on, and then for this, I don't have anything plugged into it, but that's live now. What I'm going to do is get a little gauge that shows temperature and voltage, so I can see when the battery's getting close to needing a charge, and what the internal temperature is inside. So when I go to charge it, I'll just pull that out and plug the charger into that port. That's how that will work. So that is it. Thanks for watching.